In this video, I'm going to talk about the best FX pairs for beginning traders. Stay tuned. Hey traders, a very warm welcome to you. How are you? I hope your trading is doing well. If you're new to trading, good video for you here. The best FX pairs for beginners. Right, I know what it's like. You're starting out, you say, listen, I want to trade. Maybe you've opened an account. If you haven't yet, we've got some great suggestions for you. A link in the description below to our preferred broker. However, you'll go up and running and you're like, listen, you know what? I need to start trading. What do I trade? I want to trade currencies. I've not got a lot of money to trade, or I've got a lot of money to trade, whatever. How do I start trading? So the thing you want to do is kind of say to yourself, right, I need to narrow down my environment. If you decided to trade Forex, by all means, good places they need to start, but you have hundreds of pairs to trade. What do you trade? Well, the biggest ones, as you may well know, guys, if you are kind of new, but you know, you understand and you've seen some of the stuff. These are sort of some of three of the biggest ones. You've got AUD as well, you've got CHF as well, you've got NZD. I could go on and on and on there, but this is my point. You need to pick 3 pairs maximum to trade. And my advice is to pick currencies that are in the news, that are moving. Now, this may well be a surprise to you because many people say, oh, you know, trade really quiet stuff. I don't buy that. Right? The real world trading is, listen, you want to make as much money as possible whilst risking as little as possible. Trading kind of narrow range stuff isn't going to cut it. It's not the real world. It's a very specific strategy that a few people can do and a few people do well, of course, but you need to trade something that's moving. You can dampen that volatility by reducing your position size. You know, I'm an advocate anyway of keeping the position size as low as possible, but you know, trade something that's moving, man. Trade something that's shifting, that's got some news flow, so you can see how news flow affects it. So, you know, for example, you might have stuff going on in Japan, right? So you say, okay, you know what? I want to trade the yen. And you might say, okay, there's also stuff going on perhaps with interest rates in the US. So, you know, USD is going to be on my list. And you may say, oh, well, actually, you know, pound, stuff's going on in the UK with the pound. You know, there's a bit of uncertainty for whatever reason, whatever kind of year you're watching this or whatever scenario we're in, and pick stuff where things are moving. You know, because you want to be trading stuff that's moving, okay? And you can, as I say, you can dampen the volatility down by trading size. Just stay away from stuff that's not moving. That's my opinion on it. Others may disagree. Comments below if you do disagree. Happy to hear what your argument is for not doing that. But I say trade something that's moving. I also say trade something with a very thin spread. So whilst you want to be trading something that's a very tight spread, whilst you want to be trading something that's moving, you don't want to be trading some exotic pair that's swinging around like a madman with a massive spread, because again, it's not going to give you the right kind of learning environment. So these are all pretty decent spreads. You know, Euro US dollar, very, very tight spread, less than a point. Pound US dollar, very tight spread. US dollar JPY, very, very tight spread. Okay, if for example you were going to choose those and you said, okay, USD, you know, I want to trade something against the dollar because that's stuff's going on in the economy there. I want to trade some of the yen, I want to trade the pound. Not a bad combo. Maybe you can substitute something for GBP, JPY, or you can mix and match. But my point is, just pick 3. Pick 3 that are moving, 3 that are countries are interesting, that there's stuff going on, 3 that the spreads are nice and tight on, that's nice and liquid, 3 that haven't got like excessive gap risk. So do a bit of homework and understand where the risk is in it. You know, if you go back and look about what happened with the Swiss, you know there's an inherent underlying risk with that. You know, your major pairs at this moment in time, you need to look at what the risk is coming from. Could there be a surprise, interest rate change? You know, is there any external risk that I need to be careful of? If there is, then scrub it off your list. Don't get involved with any pair that has that kind of binary risk coming from nowhere. You want something that's just trading 24/5, nice and liquid, different kind of structures. These are all kind of a little bit different with each. You know, US dollar JPY is a little bit more spicy, Euro US dollar a bit more of a slow one. well, it depends on the time, it depends when you're looking at it, but generally speaking, that's kind of how it works. And then you just get to know them. And the beauty of doing this is you get to know, okay, my dollar, and you can see some correlations where you can say, okay, well, dollar's strengthening. How does that affect these two pairs? How does that affect that pair? Oh, okay, interestingly, dollar, you know, even though it's strengthening, it's not affecting that so much. Does that mean that's weak? Does that mean that's strong? You kind of get to feel where the money's flowing is around with the sun as well, you know, so from, you know, Europe, US, Asia, you know, how it works. You kind of see where your levels are. You start to develop a strategy. You start to say, okay, you know, this one's particularly good for momentum, for example. This one is particularly good for kind of mean reversion or whatever. But my main points are, listen, just pick your three. Pick your three. Don't be tempted just because the US dollar CAD is ripping off or AUD USD is going to the moon to suddenly dive on that. Stick to what you know. Instead of seeing something and going, I want to be trading that, see something and go, how is that going to affect my little babies? You know, my kind of little ecosphere of trading. How does that affect it? How will the US dollar CAD affect that? Does it affect it? Does anyone care? Is it a CAD thing? Is it a USD thing? You know, you look at it like that as opposed to saying, well, I'm missing out on volatility, I need to go over there. So best FX pairs for beginners. It's a good start. That's a 3 good start. 3 kind of big ones. I don't mind. I wouldn't say it's a problem if you substitute, you know, US dollar JPY for GBP JPY, or kind of mix and match a little bit, maybe add AUD USD in there instead of one of those. Whatever it is, but the point is have some sort of correlation between them, some sort of theme, and just stick to your 3. Go for it. Keep the size small because it's all about the consistency of trading rather than making the money. And then just stick to that for a good period of time. Log all what you're doing. Keep a journal. Keep records. See where you are at the end of a couple of months. And then just say, you know what, this is where I am. This is my next step to improve. Anyway, guys, that's it. Best FX pairs for beginners. If you're a beginner out there, best of luck. My advice to you is watch some of the videos I've done. I've done all sorts of videos on here from me and other traders on this channel. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Go back and look at the library of videos. All sorts of different topics, mindset, strategy, you name it, it's out there. Notification bell as well for new videos. Tap that and you're ready. You'll get it fired up to your phone or wherever it may be, your tablet or whatever. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Comments below as always. Take care. See you soon. Good trading, guys. Bye-bye.